I'm just really satisfied about what happened last night. Look, Kawhi Leonard, j- like yesterday morning, I just found out Kawhi's going to be out, and then it just got upgraded to what supposedly an ACL problem tonight. No Kawhi, number one seed Utah Jazz versus number one seed Utah Jazz. Okay, it just revealed like a lot of things for the Clippers at this point. So let's just start with Paul George because, you know, there are like a lot of Clippers fans. Like I saw, like when Paul George has his struggles, like if I had to give a proportion, it would be like what 30-40% of them they were like wanting Paul George out, which is. And then they even went as far as saying, "Oh, we should trade Paul George for CJ McCollum," which is what the heck were you thinking? What the heck were they even thinking? Paul George for CJ McCollum. Can you imagine that deal? Like it's like trading like it's like trading a In-N-Out burger for a McDonald's burger. Like CJ, he's a great player. Never been into an All-Star though. Correct me if I'm wrong, but but Paul George literally shut all the haters up. Paul George just dropped what 38 points, I believe. Yeah, 38 points. I think I forgot, but against the Utah Jazz crowd. Can you imagine that? Versus the Jazz crowd. They were like, and Utah has like, don't forget, it has one of the most intense fan base in the world. I'll give them props for that. Like, imagine imagine just playing in Utah, and all the pressures against you, getting booed when you touch the ball. Paul George, major props to you, Paul George. And also Ty Lue, like I slandered Ty Lue like a lot if you see my past videos, especially when the Clippers would struggle. Even in my comments, I would like slander Ty Lue a lot. I even went as far as saying, oh, even if the Clippers win it all, Ty Lue should go. But Ty Lue, he's shown yes, he's slow. We all know he's like a turtle. I just noticed this phenomenon. The first two games, he kind of like is somewhat sleeping. Third, game three, he shows out. He shows out. And how Ty Lue coached last night, maybe he could have maybe just I mean, like maybe put a big man sometimes, but at the end of the day, it was actually not needed because we wound up winning. I felt he did a really good job in adjustments. In my opinion, he just kept switching the guards, because he mixed in with Pat Bev. He even put Kennard in. And he definitely put Terrence Mann in because well, yeah, you had to put Terrence Mann because Kawhi's out, and Terrence Mann plays like similar to Kawhi Leonard because Terrence Mann, he's a lockdown defender. His passing skills are solid. His 3-point shooting it can be worked on, but it's one of those easiest things to develop. Terrence Mann, I mean, I thought he was gonna have an all-star breakout, but he still did great. I mean, look at like what he did against Rudy Gobert, against what the Eiffel Tower. That's just amazing. I was happy. And then we're gonna also go with Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson was like how I treated Ty Lue. Like I was doubting Reggie Jackson in the beginning, like but actually, like look, a lot of Clippers fan, including even myself in the past, I thought Reggie Jackson would be a bad idea and stuff, but I guess not. Like when you actually really watch the games, like for the people who say Reggie Jackson should not start, like it's actually not as bad as y'all think. Like it's actually a better idea that Reggie Jackson starts. Let me tell you why. Because if Reggie Jackson starts, he gets his touches, he gets his feel of the game, and then he goes off. He does pretty good. He's a reliable player. He would drop like what 15, 16 points. I forgot how much points he had, but I'm sure it was over 20 points. He made some key shots. So So that's why like Reggie Jackson starting is actually really good for us. Like I'm trying to keep it real. Like because when you put Reggie on the bench, he's not gonna get as much shots. So which is it's harder for him to get in rhythm. So and Terrence Mann he always plays good like regardless. Like you get him off the bench, he plays good. Start him, pretty good. And then what else could we break? who else can we go to? Morris Senior. Morris Senior. He played like garbage in the first few games. Well, first two games mainly, but again, Morris, he stepped up big time. He was making like key shots, a lot of threes. He stepped on Rudy Gobert, which is that was crazy. And then Rudy Gobert just got real mad at it, and then double technical foul. And so that's pretty much what how the Clippers did last night. It revealed a lot of it. Just if anything, like it helped the Clippers grow. It reveals like what players can actually do, especially with Paul George, Reggie Jackson, and Ty Lue. And then of course you got guys like Batum, which is it was like one of the best pickups we we ever did because Batum, great defender. I don't mind him playing. I don't mind him starting centers at center at times because he's really versatile on defense. He's not like Trez. Trez, he's like he's bad against cent big men's on defense, but Batum to a certain extent he can be he could guard the five at times, but Gobert got like what 14 points I guess. So but Batum did pretty good. He did pretty good. He gave chemistry, gave everything. Like the game was pretty electric. Like especially with the Jazz, they were starting to make threes, and then later on, like the Clippers stepped up on defense like big time, which is that was amazing. Tyronn Lue, you're actually starting to become a good coach now. So if Ty Lue coaches like this, he has he has more to grow. Like that's just my opinion. But again, but to be honest, this is probably my favorite Clippers game ever. Like, cause come on, unless maybe if tomorrow could impress me even more. But seriously, without Kawhi Leonard, with all the role players stepped up, and Paul George he stepped up big time, versus a number one seed Utah Jazz. That was just amazing, just more than amazing. I cannot tell you how happy I was last night because like, but hopefully we can pull this off tomorrow. We'll win this bad boy tomorrow, and then next one we're gonna face the Phoenix Suns. So Phoenix Suns is gonna be a tough one though, because Phoenix like they have a great backcourt. They have Devin Booker and they have Chris Paul, and our weakness is usually like letting those guards cook up. So that'll be pretty interesting. And then like Reggie Jackson, we'll see how he does. Like I bet now a lot of people will probably want to recommend sitting Reggie Jackson, but to be honest, now like seeing all the overall Reggie Jackson's like how he plays, I think it's I'm okay with him starting at this point because Reggie Jackson, again, when he starts, he plays good. I'm telling y'all. So I'll just end this video, but I'm just amazed.